Welcome back, everybody. Our stroll down baseball history continues. And just a quick question. Did anyone know there was a team in the majors used to be called the Superbas? Bet a lot of you didn't, but that was the case. The old Dodger team back in the early part of the 20th century were known as the Superbas as teams evolved into what they are today. And the Superbas will be playing today. They were drawn against a good Tigers team. And we will see how things play out. The Superbas, of course, turned into the Brooklyn Dodgers, and then, of course, the Los Angeles Dodgers when they went from there. A team from the early century played a lot different than the Tiger team that we have that's from the 50s. But let's go ahead and introduce our teams. This is Series 189 on Out of the Park Baseball 21. All of the matchups we get are not the most modern and the most glamorous teams. We get teams from all eras, all backgrounds, and all records. And today is one of those days where we might be educated with some players we haven't heard from in a while. So let's introduce the Superbas first. They're led by a manager called Harry Lumley. They lost 98 games in 09. Way back in the standings, sixth in the National League. Looking at their team, you can see here Lumley himself, who was the manager, actually was the outfielder on this team, which was kind of common practice back then. 250 for him, not a great year, but only played himself in 55 games. Wally Clement, only in 92 games, he hit 259. And then some of the regulars like Al Birch, 271. He stole 38 bases, only drove in 30. You can see the RBI numbers way down. Offense not a big part of the game back then, but especially for bad teams, nobody even over 50 RBIs, believe it or not, that started. John Hummel on the bench had 52. He hit 280, and actually, you could say he started. He played most of the season. Ed Lennox at third base, 262 for him as well. 44 RBIs, 2 home runs. Tommy McMillan, 212, rough year for him. Whitey Alperman, 248, another low average. Tim Jordan at first base, 273 with 36 and 13 steals. And Bill Bergen really struggled at catcher, almost hitting nothing at a historic low, 139. Unbelievably bad year for Bergen. Hummel we mentioned on the bench, and maybe Doc Marshall will get some time at catcher, although he wasn't much better either. So the hitting putrid for the Superbas. Not much thunder in that lineup, but their pitching, of course, is better. Knapp Rucker, the leader maybe of this team, lost 19 games, got no support, of course. At 24, his ERA 2.24, walked over 100 men, but struck out over 200, which was a big, big deal back in the day. Not a lot of people struck out. George Bell, 16 and 15, pretty amazing. He had a winning record, 271. He pitched very well, 6 shutouts for him. Harry McIntyre, 7 and 17, 363. He struck out 84. Hit 21 batters, interestingly enough. Kaiser Wilhelm, 3 and 13 and 17 starts. 3 and 13 with a 3.26 ERA, hard to believe. Doc Scanlon there at 28, and George Hunter. Some of the other arms, we'll see who the third and fourth starters are for Lumley. But Knapp Rucker, the lefty, the leader of this team, and they're going to need all the help they can get, as the Superbas in any era, not a very good team. It all comes down to wins and losses, and they definitely had their share of losses. Their opponents from the 50s, it's going to be the 1957 Detroit Tigers, 78 and 76. They had a winning record. They were building up to be a very good team, not quite there yet. Jack Tighe, the manager, they finished 4th in the American League, so a top 4 finish for them, and their team was building. Of course, Al Kaline, only 22 years old, the Hall of Famer, coming into his own, 295, 90 RBIs, 23 home runs, a 343 on base, and his glove was very, very good and right. So Kaline comes onto the scene. Bill Tuttle, 251, 47 RBIs, and 133 for him. Not a great year. Charlie Maxwell, the lefty, 276, 82 driven in. He hammered 24 home runs to lead the team in that category. Reno Bertoa, 275 at third base. He only played in 97 games. Harvey Kuhn, 277 at shortstop. And Fred Boiling, 259 with 40 RBIs and 15 long balls for him. Ray Boone at first. not a great hitting first baseman. In any era for him, not much power, 12 home runs. Frank House, 259 at catcher, 36 RBIs. Looking at the bench, you got Red Wilson there, also platooning at catcher, hit 239. Jim Finnegan, 270, both as pinch hitters. So the hitting with Kaline coming onto the scene, I wouldn't say it's great, but Maxwell has some pop, and we'll go from there. But nobody you can see is hitting over 300, which says a lot. Pitching-wise, Jim Bunning, 20-game winner, 20 and 8, 269. He struck out 182, completed 14 games, only walked 72, so a good year for Bunning. Very good pitcher in his era. Now he's in his prime here with the Tigers. Frank Lowry, 11 and 16, 398, 237 innings. Not a great year as far as record, or really an ERA for that era. He did allow 107 strikeouts, walked 72, much like Bunning, but a lot more earned runs. He got hit a little bit harder. Duke Moss, 10 and 14, 328, 200 innings plus for him. He allowed 23 homers just like Larry did and struck out 116. Paul Foytak, 14 and 11 in 27 starts. Those are the top four men on this team. Billy Hoff, the lefty, he might have gotten a spot start when a lefty-heavy lineup was up against the club. And Harry Bird in that pen, he got into 37 games. And Lou Sleeter, 3 and 3 for him. He got into 41. So they're the main guys who were in on relief duty. They basically got no starts. So Bunning and Larry, good pitchers. Moss, not bad as well, but not a super talented team either, the Tigers, but their draw is a very good one. They get a 98-loss team in the Superbas. So two teams kind of similar, even if they do play in different eras. You have teams that don't have much hitting and lean on some aces and some pitching to get the job done. But of course, the Tigers, the favorite, will be in Tiger Stadium. We'll get two very classic parks here from old school baseball. We got the openers in Detroit, and then we go to Brooklyn for the middle portion in Washington Park. It's even before Ebbets Field was open. So the series is set. Doesn't matter what the teams are. We expect an exciting series, both teams fighting tooth and nail to get it done. Hopefully you're with us to learn the names and some talents from teams you might not have noticed or remember. So let's take a look here at Series 189 between the 1909 Brooklyn Superbas and the 1957 Detroit Tigers. Opening game, Doc Scanlon gets a surprise call here for Brooklyn up against the lefty. There he is, another surprise starter, Billy Hoff. So both teams choosing not to go with their aces in Game 1 for strategic purposes. So let's head out to Tiger Stadium, or Briggs Field as it's known, and we will get this series started. Best of 7 coming up. Birch will lead it off as the series begins. And this ball's hit to third. The play is made, and our series is started. We're in the bottom of the first inning now. Ray Boone up there against Scanlon. We got a runner on first and second, and the bases are going to be loaded here with 2 outs. And Frank House with the chance. And House will go to second. This should end the inning. It does. So no runs there for the Tigers. We move to the third. No score. The pitcher up now, Scanlon, puts down a bunt. Play will be made at second, and that'll turn into a double play. So Detroit with a nice twin killing, playing that one aggressively. Here's Boylan now with the man on first and 2 outs. And this is hit to right field. It's got some carry. To the wall, but gonna be dropped out there. A big drop. Lumley makes the error. The manager can't handle it, and now a big chance for Detroit. The pitcher Hoff at the plate. He will pop it up, however, so Brooklyn should get out of it. They do. The error goes by the boards, and we are in the 5th now. Hoff delivers to Alperman. And Alperman goes deep here. And it's in the corner. He's going to have extra bases. It's actually going to be a triple here. A big triple for Brooklyn here in the 5th inning with nobody out. And Lumley now at the plate. Ball gets away. First run's going to score on a wild pitch. Alperman scores 1-0 Superbas. Here's Doc Marshall with 1 out and the man on second. Marshall will hit this one deep. That one's to the wall, up against it. Another run for the Superbas. 2-0. They've jumped here on the home team in a nice way. 2-0 the score. And we move to the bottom of the 5th. K-Line up with a man on. And K-Line will pop it up. Should be playable. But it's dropped there by the second baseman. Alperman can't handle it. We've seen some sloppy play here by the Brooklyn club. But they're still holding on. Let's see if they can do that. To first. Playmate at second. They get the force. That was a nice play. So runners on the corners for Ray Boone. 2 outs. And Boone will go to second. And Brooklyn, when it matters most, gets it done. Holding on to their lead. Bottom of the 6th, Frank House. Facing Scanlon, he'll single up the middle as the Tigers continue to try to fight back. Here's Boiling. Boiling goes to third. Nice diving play, but that one gets away. Making another error here for Brooklyn. When, oh when, will it come to bite them? Bill Tuttle up there with nobody out. Tuttle goes to third again. And this time they turn it, so Brooklyn gets it done. Runner headed to third. We're into the 7th now. Scanlon still has a 0 on that board. Here's a base hit up the middle. A 2-0 pitch for Kuhn. K-Line now the hitter. K-Line goes to short. They get 1. So that's the 2nd out of the 7th inning. And Maxwell's the hitter. Maxwell also goes to second. Another bobble. Another error there by Alperman, and it is now Ray Boone at the plate with 2 outs, full count. He will lift it to right. Gonna stay in the yard. Another drop out there. Huge problems for Lumley. His 2nd error out there, would you believe it? The run will score. It is 2-1. Frank House now the hitter. House goes up the middle. That's gonna tie the game, maybe more. Runner heading around third. Here comes the throw. He is safe. A 2-run single by House, and it is the poor defense and the errors that are killing Brooklyn. They should not be trailing in this game, but they are. Here's a ground ball back to the mound. That play is going to be made. Top of the 8th now for Lennox, and Lennox coming in. He will hit it to third. That's going to go through. So that's going to be a double. He's the tying runner on second base. And John Hummel at the plate. Hummel will line this one to center field. That one's going to be dropped in there. A base hit. So 2 on, 1 out for Tim Jordan. Jordan will line this one to short. They'll only get 1, and the game is tied here on the fielder's choice. We are tied at 3. Runner on second for Alperman. Alperman gets a walk. So 2 on, 2 out. Here's the manager, Lumley. He will hit it to second. Play will be made there, and the Tigers let up the tie, but nothing more. Bottom of the 8th now. Scanlon's still in the game. This one's hit hard, deep into the right field gap there. It's up against the wall. Runner headed to third. He will make it. It is a triple here. Torgerson, a beautiful start to the inning. 1 out now for Harvey Kuhn. Kuhn will hit it deep to center. That should be deep enough. Let's see. Catch is made. Here comes the throw. Gonna be late, and the Tigers take the lead on the sacrifice fly, 4-3. Top of the ninth now. Tommy McMillan facing Billy Hoft, who's gone all the way here to the shortstop. There's an out. One out for Hoft. Now he needs two more. This one's off the mound. Tough play. It is made. A beautiful play there by Sanford. Two outs now for Hunter. One more to go. And this one's hit to center field. On the run to make the play is the center fielder. And Detroit pulls off the win, 4-3. They win game one, taking advantage of Brooklyn mistakes in a big way. 5 errors by the Superbas, 2 by Appleman and 2 by Lumley. The ones by Lumley out in right field really hurt them in that third run, 7th inning. Scanlon seemed to have things going. He was pitching well, only allowed 1 earned, but the defense was atrocious, and it cost them in the end. You can't play that type of defense and expect to win. Billy Hoff went the distance for him, 4 Ks. He gets the win, allowed 3 earned runs, and Frank House 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. No home runs. It was the errors that were the story of this one. The Tigers take advantage and win game one by a single run, getting the sacrifice fly by the pitcher of all people in the 8th inning to take the win and the lead at that time. So game one, very, very sloppy by the Superbas. They're going to have to improve if they have a chance. And now both teams sending their aces to the mound. Knapp Rucker will take the mound against Jim Bunning. Probably the 2 best arms in the series. A good matchup it should be. Let's see what happens. Defense a big part of it, and Brooklyn was lacking. So let's see what game 2 has in store at Tiger Stadium. The Tigers, having coming off the win on the backs of their lack, I should say, of hitting. They took advantage because of the errors. Hoft with the win in game 1. Let's check out game 2 now, live from Tiger Stadium. There's a shot into left center field. Birch is going to have extra bases. He's got a double on this rainy day in Detroit. But no score still in the 2nd inning for Frank Boylan. Rucker delivers. This ball's hit deep to left on the line to the wall. It's going to be extra bases for Boylan. He's looking for 3. He will make it with a leadoff triple here in the 2nd inning for the Tigers. So let's see if Tuttle can get him across. Tuttle will go to short. That will do the job. 1-0 Tigers. 2 outs here for Birch. He'll go deep. Ripped up against the wall for Birch. Top of the 3rd inning, and Birch is looking for 3. Birch is going to head and get a triple here. But to the 6th inning, the 1-0 game continues for Detroit. Jim Bunning has been lights out. 2 outs here. Here's the pitch. This one's lifted deep, however, to left field. And a tie here on the home run. Hummel ties this game with a big homer. We are now even at 1. Bunning was pitching and cruising along, but he makes the mistake. And now with 2 outs, Tim Jordan. And Jordan goes deep. He hit that one well. To the wall. Yes! Home run! Goodbye, back-to-back here by the Superbas. 2-1 our score. Bunning sees the lead evaporate. And we move now to the bottom of the 6th. Maxwell's the hitter. Rucker now has the advantage. But this one's hit hard to right field. And just like that, We are tied at 2 again. Charlie Maxwell shows off his muscle and his poise under pressure. It is 2-2. To the 7th, Lumley now the hitter. Lumley will take ball 4, just the borderline call there with nobody out, and Zach Wheat the hitter. Wheat will go the other way, base hit, so 2 on with nobody out for Brooklyn. Doc Marshall hitting now. Marshall will go too short, but the ball's not hit hard enough for 2. So runners on the corners with only 1 out and the pitcher up. And he'll look at strike 3, so a big strikeout for Bunning. And Al Birch now with 2 outs in a big spot, he will strike out. So Bunning gets 2 big strikeouts with the man on third. 7th inning stretch, we're in the 8th inning. Brooklyn trying to come back here. Here's a shot to center field. That's going to get over the head of the center fielder and actually out of the park. Kaboom! A home run for Jordan. And Brooklyn will take a 3-2 lead. Over 440 feet on that one. Straight away center field. Wow. Here's Torgerson. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Torgerson looks at strike 3, so Rucker's turning it up now. Harry Kuhn is the hitter. Kuhn will line a single to left field. With 1 down, it's a 3-2 game. K-Line now the hitter against Rucker. K-Line strikes out Rucker with some good stuff. A change up there, 2 outs for Maxwell, who's already homered. Maxwell will dump this ball into right field for a base hit. So we're going to have runners now on second and third. And Ray Boone with the chance to make the difference here against Rucker with 2 outs. Boone will hit this one deep, but it should be playable to left field. Catch is made by Wheat. Brooklyn holds on to their edge. We move to the 9th, and Doc Marshall trying to build the lead now. He will line a single to center field. That could get a run home. Holding up, we have the bases loaded with 1 out for Al Birch. Birch looks at strike 3, so he's done. Bunning another big strikeout. And Ed Lennox, the hitter here with the bases loaded, and Lennox will go to second. So Detroit gets out of it and still is within range here. They need 1 run. Let's see if Rucker can close it out. Frank Boiling, the man at the plate. He will hit it to center field. And the catch is made. So 1 out for House. Rucker delivers. Ground ball. Rucker's going to take it himself for the 2nd out. So Brooklyn 1 out away from evening things up. Bill Tuttle will fly this one hard, but it'll be caught. Ball game over. Series tied at 1. The Superbas win here in Detroit in Game 2 to rebound. They win 3-2. It is, in fact, a 1-run game again. And Nap Rucker went 9 innings, 2 earned runs. He struck out 4. Jim Bunning pitched very well, but he's the hard luck loser. And Tim Jordan, 2 for 4 with 2 home runs in this game. Jordan, uncharacteristic power for the Superbas. They'll take it, however, and they win, even though they were out-hit in this one. Brooklyn with some muscle, 3 home runs. Actually, I have to say 4 home runs in this game. Puts them over the top. So the series now becomes a best of 5. Brooklyn gets a big win and heads now back home as Frank Larry will face Kaiser Wilhelm in Game 3 from Washington Park. It is old school baseball as we head to Brooklyn. Even as the Superbas use the long ball to win in Game 2, we'll see if things change on their home field. So heading out to Game 3, the series even. Let's break the tie and see who's going to get the heads up in Game 3. First inning, here's Torgerson facing Kaiser Wilhelm. And Torgerson will take strike 3 here. We move to the second inning. Whitey Eichberman facing Frank Larry. Here's the pitch, and this one's hit to center field, way back to the wall. Over the wall. What a long home run here, crushed by Alperman. Way back to center field, and Brooklyn takes a 1-0 lead, giving the fans a good start. He hammered that baseball, and Brooklyn continues with its power surge. Q now the hitter with the man on. We're in the third, and this one's ripped for a base hit, so a good chance here for the Tigers with 2 on and 1 out for K-Line. K-Line will pop it up, however. That should be playable on the infield. It is for the second out. And Frank Lowry now the pitcher up, and he will strike out, so the chance goes passing here to the fifth. Queuing up with the man on. And this one's hit on a fly, but should be playable. It is. First out of the inning. 1-0 game, and here's Al K-Line. Wilhelm delivers. K-Line gets into this one. Way back to left. Could it be? Yes. Home run. K-Line rips it over the left field wall. And turning this game on its head, the Tigers take a 2-1 lead thanks to the right fielder's home run to left. Here's Frank House with the man on second. House is going to line a single past the shortstop, run around in third. It's another run for the Tigers. 3-1 here in the fifth inning. House with an RBI. To the seventh we go. 2 on. Runners going. It's a double steal. Throw to second. Ball gets away. Another run going to score. 4-1 our score. Detroit pulling away. To the eighth. It's now 5-1. Larry facing McGalvin. McGalvin deep to right. He's going to get one back. A home run with Brooklyn in the background. Beautiful shot there, but it is 5-2. McGalvin gets it over the wall. That's a shallow wall in left field. Don't let the height intimidate you. To the ninth we go. Maxwell the hitter for Detroit. They're up 5-2. And this one's deep to right field. That'll get over. It is now 6-2 Detroit. So to the ninth we go. Larry's still in the game facing Zach Wheat. He's looking to wrap it up. Fly ball to center field. And it's a great play by Tuttle. Game over. The Tigers take game 3, 6-2. They control it and make the comeback. They were down early, but were able to rebound. Larry goes the distance, walked nobody in a great control game. 2 earned runs. K-Line 3 for 5 with that home run and 2 RBIs. His home run in the fifth flipped the game in Detroit's favor. Kaiser Wilhelm did allow 11 hits, not the best outing, and he takes the loss. So there you have it. Bad defense continues for both sides, but the Tigers aren't worried about it. They were able to get this win and win the first game at Washington Park, and they now are looking to cruise and continue it to do what they need to do. Let's move now to game number 4, Detroit versus Brooklyn. Can the Superbas rebound? They need a good performance at home. Ball's hit deep into left field, so it's going to be extra bases for Torgerson. He has a double here to start the game. And here's Al K-Line with Torgerson now on third, and K-Line will go deep to right field. That's got some carry. That'll be caught, but a runner will tag, and it is now 1-0 in favor of the Tigers. To the fourth we go. K-Line up again with the man on second. And K-Line will split the gap here, making it 2-0. A double for K-Line, and the Tigers jump up here in the fourth inning again and bite Brooklyn. 9-1 now. This game has been blown wide open, folks. We're in the eighth inning. Queuing up with the bases loaded. He will line a single to center field. Add to the parade here for the Tigers. 2-run score. It is 11-1 as they are putting a stamp on this game and maybe this series. Red Wilson now facing Harry McIntyre. We're in the 9th inning. Wilson goes deep to left field. Could it be a cherry on top for the Tigers? It is. Big home run here. 12-1 our score. The Tigers completely controlling this ball game. We move now to the bottom of the 9th. 12-1 with runners on the corners for Foytak. Pitching who's gone the distance. This is lifted to center field. Can of corn. Game over. Tigers win it 12-1. No doubt in this ball game. They now have a 3-1 lead in this series. Not much drama there. Foytak, a great game. 9 innings pitched with 6 Ks and 1 earned allowed. K-Line continues a good series. 2 for 3 with a double, 2 RBIs. Torgerson 2 for 4, 2 RBIs for him with a couple doubles. Wilson hit a home run. 15 hits for the Tigers. Bell got hammered around. Not a good game for him. But that 6th inning, 8th especially, killed the Superbas, and their bats were silenced today. So, the Tigers now in complete control as we move to game number 5. Brooklyn's going to need to put together a mammoth comeback and win 3 in a row if they can. It starts here with their home game as Doc Scanlon, who was good in game 1, takes the mound again against Billy Hoft, who won the opener, and now he has a chance to close out the series. So let's see how things go. The Tigers and the Superbas, one more game here at Brooklyn, and it's up to the Tigers now to try to close it out in a quick 5 games. Let's head out to the action and see if Brooklyn can stay alive. Fourth inning of a scoreless tie here in game number 5, and this one's lined to center field, a base hit with a man on, so 2 on here with 1 out in the 4th. The Tigers trailing, and Ray Boone will plate, and he will take strike 3. A nice pitch there by Scanlon. 2 outs now for Frank House. Can he come through here in the clutch? He pops it up. Play to be made. It is by the shortstop, so the game remains scoreless. Bottom of the 5th now. The pitcher Scanlon on with 2 on. Can he help his own cause? He pops it to center field, however. That should be playable. It is. So the scoreless game continues here in the 6th. Harvey Kuhn, the hitter. And he will take ball 4 to lead off the inning. K-Line now the hitter. K-Line dribbles it. And K-Line beats the throw, and he gets the infield hit. So 2 on, nobody out. The Tigers threatening here as Maxwell comes to the plate. The lefty with a big chance, but he's patient and takes ball 4. And Scanlon now is walked 4, has the bases loaded, and Ray Boone a big chance. Boone will hit it to short, play made at home. They get the double play. Great play by the Superbas. A twin killing, and Frank House now has to come through with 2 outs to make it work. He rips a shot way back. Unbelievable. House comes through with a 3-run homer just when Brooklyn thought they were going to get out of it. House throws a dagger over the wall. It is 3-0 now, Detroit. Brooklyn trying to answer. Alperman up here. He'll line it to center field. And a diving play by Tuttle. We've seen that before. He makes another brilliant catch. And folks, it is 4-0. We've moved to the 9th. Billy Hoff still on the mound. Brooklyn just about out of this, but they still are fighting. There's a home run into the bleachers. Hummel makes it 4-1. The shutout is gone. And here's Tim Jordan. Hoff remains in the game. Jordan will line one down the line here, and Brooklyn trying to go out with a fight. Alperman's the hitter. Man on first base. This one's popped to center field. That should be the first out of the inning. It is. So 4-1 our score. 2 outs. Zach Wheat the hitter. And there's strike three, and the Tigers end the series. Celebrations as players mob each other. Detroit wins all three games here on the road in Brooklyn, taking care of the Superbas. In 5 games, they win it 4-1. In this clincher, Hoff goes the distance, allows only 1 earned runs at 5 Ks. Doc Scanlon takes the loss. He did walk 6, which ended up hurting him. And Frank House, 1 for 4, 3 RBIs for House, gets the job done. It is 4-1 our final, and 4-1 the series final. Looking now at some of the numbers for the losing side, they did have some long balls, which is unexpected, but the average is again struggling. Alperman had a decent series, 316, but only drove in 1. Hummel hit 300, drove in 2. Jordan had 2 home runs, but the rest is pretty weak. Marshall, Wheat, and Lennox with averages under 150. For the pitching, Scanlon was 0-2. He had a 265, didn't pitch badly, but his control was off with 11 walks. Nat Brucker in his 1 start was brilliant. He went the distance in the only win of the series for Brooklyn. Wilhelm did okay, but Bell struggled in his loss. For the Tigers, Al Kaline, 450. He drove in 3. Looks like he's going to be the MVP. Harry Kuhn also hit 450. They were both 9 for 20. Maxwell had 2 home runs, 333. Boylan drove in 3. And it goes from there. Even Frank House at 238. He drove in 6, including a big 3-run home run in game number 5. Pitching-wise, Jim Bunning took the only loss of the series, but Billy Hoff pitched great. He won 2 games and had a 2.00 ERA. Could also be the MVP of the series. Wojtak also pitched well in his 1 win. For Kaline, looking at his splits, you can see here he was 9 for 20 with a home run. He had 6 runs scored, and he even stole 2 bases. Slugging 650, 1.128 OPS, a good series for Kaline to get the MVP. So not any surprises here. It was the 57 Tigers who took the series after dropping the opener. Hopefully you learned some new names and some new people you might want to look up in the history of the game, both for the Tigers and for the Superbas. But this series is over. 189 is finished. Glad you were with us. Continue to subscribe or follow us. You're more than welcome as we try to bring the history of the game to you with some of the teams from the games past. Once again, the 57 Detroit Tigers easily take care of the 1909 Superbas from Brooklyn, 4-1. That will do it. We will catch you again for Series 190 coming up shortly. Take care, everyone, and stay safe.